Hello, you guys. How are you? I am outside. The lighting sucks, but I like to be on camera sometimes. I know we just connect better. Hey, work for Lutterworth. Hey, Sean. Hey, Nady, Chemistry Queen, Guidance. Oh, I'm so happy to see you guys. Punksy. Hello. Hey, Riddler. Oh my gosh. I've gathered so much more stuff. I don't even know if we're going to have time to go through it all because I have an appointment over the phone at 6:30. But we're going to go up right until then because there's just so much. Yeah, so I'm really excited to show you guys. The first thing I want to show you, though, is going to be about 5 minutes of a podcast that Nancy Grace did. And then we're going to get into some of the things that I have found online today since my stream. But the whole time, if we come up with any questions, we are going to list our questions and I'm going to send them out to several people. I've already thought about it. I know a few different places that we can send them to and hope for an answer, including, the Aaron Snell, the person that talks with the press. We're going to send them to the person in charge of the investigation, the county, just whoever, the state police. We're going to send them to the FBI, everywhere. So Moscow Police Department. So I don't know, maybe we'll get an answer from one of them or all of them or what, who knows. Hey, Guidance. I know. I'm happy to see you. I haven't gotten back to you from a little bit. Hey, Kels. Hey, Corey. Hey, Violet. Oh, I will get back to you, though, Guidance. I promise. Hey, Maria. Okay, so let's get into it. Hey, Leo girl, Carrie from Boise, Idaho. Let's get right into it then. So the first thing we're going to do is listen, like I said, to Nancy Grace. She did a podcast. Well, this guy has put it on his channel because he was a guest on it. His name is Dale Carson. The channel is Dale Carson Law. I'll actually go ahead and share that in the chat. We are going to listen to Nancy talk about the coroner. I want you guys to hear this because I just haven't heard it. Christine, haven't heard it told quite like this. Yes, Holly, I did. I saw that. I can't believe Judy Ron was in here earlier. I'm still like, whoa, that is crazy. But then they went and cleared up basically what we were talking about. Hey, Lady B. Okay, so I am going to, let me just turn this off while we're listening because it takes some of the internet. Did I put his thing in the chat? If not, hey, Tammy. Oh, thank you, Chris. I appreciate that. Okay, so here's the channel that we're watching this on. If you want to watch the full thing later, we're just going to listen to about 10 minutes. I'm going to mute because I don't have my headphones, so it's going to echo, but I'll pause every minute or so. Thank you, Leo girl. It was fun. I have so much to show you guys today too, or this evening. And don't forget, I have the notepad open already here on the computer to write our questions down. But this was just too important to skip.
Map half must investigate. What are they doing right now and what have we learned? I want you to take a listen to the county coroner, Kathy Mabbitt.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound. Yes.
Can you describe what that one might have been?
Fatal ones were to the chest area or the upper body area. That was the lethal.
Have we learned? I want you to take a listen to the county coroner, Kathy Mabbitt.
Most of them had just like one that was the lethal stab wound.
So this is her with Ashley Banfield. She said most of them had only one that was like the lethal stab wound. So one of them apparently, most likely, had a few that could have been lethal. That's the way I understood it. But listen to this. Oh, okay, Leo girl. Hey, Lori.
Yes.
Can you describe what that one might have been?
Fatal ones were to the chest area or the upper body area.
Were there, and I only ask this because it sometimes determines what kind of a crime this was, a crime of passion, a random crime, a fight, a struggle. Was there, were any of them slashed? Were any of their necks cut? Or were these all puncture wounds?
Well, it was a pretty large knife, so it's really hard to call them puncture wounds. And they were definitely stabbings. And I mean, it has to be somebody that's pretty angry in order.
So that tells me their necks were not trigger warning. Their necks were not slashed, in my opinion. At least most of them. That's the way it seems, because she asked and she says, no, well, they're not really just puncture wounds because it goes so deep. Most had one that was the lethal stab wound. That insinuates that one was the bloody mess and the others were in the way, in my opinion. That's what I'm thinking. Hey, West Virginia holler girl. Oh, no. Oh, trust me, I know all about that.
To stab 4 people to death.
Hearing our friends over at News Nation, Jill Scott Morgan, I got a problem. Okay, I got a lot of problems, but one of them is that Kathy Mabbitt, who I'm sure is a fine person, is a registered nurse. Wait for it, who has a degree, a BS in political science, and a law degree from the University of Idaho that she got in, I believe, 2006. Could have been 2001. Did you hear me?
I did.
A registered nurse with a law degree and a degree in political science. All those things, each of themselves, are spectacular feats. Okay? Really hard to do all that. But we need a trained medical examiner.
You would think on like one of the biggest cases we've seen for a while that they would have a medical examiner. I just don't understand that. But whatever. We've talked about that on here though. I just wanted you guys to hear this. And to hear I have not heard that interview with the coroner going into detail like that. Because, many people have assumed that that the vocal cords were somehow affected, the neck, the throat. That is why no one heard anything, right? So, yeah, exactly, guidance. It is just like Truckee. Okay.
Examiner to look at the wounds and also not to disseminate information until it has been determined by a medical doctor, and possibly not even then do I have to say Delphi. Look, I want to know the information just like everybody else, but this is not the time to be releasing information about the wounds of the victims. Because if the killer is watching TV, what's he going to do right now? He's going to take that fixed blade knife and get rid of it. He's going to clean it and get rid of it because so much information is being leaked and information critical to the case.
And there's no central point of control with it. This is what really struck me about her interview. And she'd given one prior to the one that we just listened to.
Now, this came up earlier with that glove that Chris McDonough put out. I've heard people saying, hey, why are you putting this out? I do think it's really interesting. But we only have about 1 or 2 minutes. I want you guys to hear more, but I do think it's important to hear this next little bit. So let's keep
listening. Is that she made a statement before the police ever made a statement. I mean, an open statement where they gave an interview.
No offense, but shut your pie hole, lady. Go ahead.
No. Yeah, and so that's a bit different. And I think that a lot of this goes, and I'm not disparaging the jurisdiction up there. I think a lot of this goes to a lack of experience that they might have with dealing with mass fatalities like this, and something, people don't think this can happen in your town. and it truly does, evidenced here. And everything demonstrates that you have to be on the same sheet of music. You have to have a point of control for all information that's coming in.
It's called a command center.
You're right, Dale Carson.
One of the noticeable things is when you do crime scenes like this, you've got to cover everything to prevent the environment from despoiling it. I haven't seen one covered area, particularly in the back of the property, where it's likely this individual stood and surveilled the house for perhaps a protracted period of time. And that's why the assaults were on the upper floors.
Damn it, I was muted. Okay, so that whole podcast, the whole thing was interesting, but I have so much that I want to show you guys, so I'm gonna stop that there. Yeah, I was muted, Sean. Oh, hey Lisa, welcome. Hey, it happens. For Gabby, it was. I think there was some backlash. I don't know if this coroner got in trouble. I don't know why. She was obviously in her interview outfit. Okay, let me show you. Let me pull up Facebook again. I don't know why I was thinking that. Like, either maybe just backlash, but like I was thinking trouble from, talking too much. I have so much to go through. Let's just start. Some are things I just found interesting and wanted to talk to you guys about. Some are things, it's a variety of things, but we're going to start right here. So, I had not seen this before, and I know we've talked about the screen, but on the interview room, he pointed out a cinder block that was under the window. So I thought that was really interesting to take note of. I had not seen that before. Seen the screen. I'm curious about that window, but yeah. So I wanted to show you guys that. And if you think of any questions, no, I didn't. Christine. Ooh. If you think of any questions for investigators, I know one, and I'll pull up the thing after. We want to know about the blood on the side of the house. I think two, I want to know about the glove that was found. I want to just know if they have a statement about it. And three, I had another one about the coroner, but let me just keep it there. If you guys think of any though as we go, let me know. Just a little nice step through the window. I hope them this is a circus. Where was the dog? Okay, let's see. That's a good one. And I'll elaborate a little bit more in like the email or the letter, or I'm going to do it by email. Okay. So let me go to our next thing to look at, because there's, like I said, there is quite a lot. I'm going to exit there. Okay, now, how many of you guys have heard of, this is just, it's just a rumor, an internet rumor, but there is a rumor about a film that went on YouTube from a certain account called Kill the Clones. Okay. So another student made a student film that mocked. Now remember, this is all speculation. We don't, anything that doesn't come from police, we basically really cannot say for a fact is true. What we know, what we don't know, I guess firsthand information from people who were there, but we're not hearing from them. So just remember that. But another student made a student film that mocked Maddie and Kaylee and threatened to kill them. The film was on YouTube, but was taken down. I'd love to see a copy to look for the clues. It was called Kill the Clones. Now, some people say it happened before the murders. This post says it was 2 days after. So here is a screenshot of a post, and it says, "Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the long-awaited movie I've been leaking. The film is about a boyfriend who is fed up with his girlfriend's clones, so he hires a hitman to take them out." Now, a clone, I wanted to show you guys this in case you'd seen it, and then we're going to read these 3 little pages of comments. A clone is like what young kids call like blonde, like the prissy, like Valley girls, right? They're clones. So just so you guys know, now I'm gonna zoom in a little bit. Okay. There's a really interesting link on Reddit that goes down this rabbit hole. The Instagram account and YouTube video have since been removed. Dude that posted the video was following 3 out of 4 victims prior to the death, with some posting screenshots of a comment he left on either Kaylee or Maddie's Instagram years ago. This dude's Instagram was following a shit ton of fetish accounts for choking, strangulation, a lot of sick stuff. The movie was supposedly about killing all the clones of a girl. It was reported to law enforcement. It's really intriguing rabbit hole to go down. Ooh, I should ask about this. I'm gonna ask police about this. Okay. How do I find out on Reddit? I'm on Reddit, so they were asking for the link, which they didn't have. Hold on. Kids are being crazy. Someone said it was discussed on an interview with the parents. Have not seen that. Can someone explain what's going on in this post? What is a clone? Who is Quinn? The video was called Killing the Clones. Quinn is apparently the boyfriend of a surviving victim. The tattoo thing is not true, so I'm going to skip that. Because here they say, correction, has a tattoo of a Mandalorian. Dylan's boyfriend. So here, another thing is a lot of people our age call like the pretty blonde girls clones, and a lot of people envy them because they can fit into anything and keep up with all the trends, etc. There's quite a bit of people, especially guys, that are envious of them. But the movie was supposedly about a boyfriend who gets fed up with all of his girlfriend's friends. Okay. So that is, like I said, speculation. Don't know. Still really interesting. You watched a couple minutes of it. Oh my God. Hey, Amber. Yes, I am, Laura. I am sending them a letter, which would not be the first time. I've reached out to several different police departments. I've got responses from some of them, not from some, and asking for updates and asking questions. Yes. And that's what we are doing, is coming up with those questions. Hey, Melissa. When will we see the medical examiner's report in toxicology? Okay, I'll put it on our list. I don't know if there is an ME report. The way I've taken it, there isn't. But I could be wrong. But there's definitely toxicology coming. Okay, so now we're going to go to the next thing. There's definitely trolls in here right now, but just ignore them. There's flunky moderators. What? Oh my God, people are crazy. Y'all crack me up. Okay. So now this is so interesting. This is from, and they actually did link it so you could go to it. This is from the Moscow Civic Alerts, like the 911 calls or reports of different crimes. So on November 11th of 2022, the call was made, but there were other calls on the 12th and 13th. So there was a call about a man. Listen, it says, reporter states that 10 to 15 minutes ago, she saw a male trying at a window near the counseling center at this location. No report. So there was a man trying to get into a window, which is interesting. And if you look, 800 block South Washington Street is only, oh wait, that's something else I want to show you guys, which is also really interesting. But the Washington Street is only 3 minutes from the house. So on the 11th, there was a report of a strange man trying to break into a window, or dig into a window is what it said. How do you dig into a window? I don't know. So the frat Ethan belonged to took all the stuff. That is what I'm told, and a lot of it was privated as well. Some of it was taken down. I don't know, Teresa. Hey, Incognito Gypsy. Which part, Lily? I don't know which you're asking for. Okay. There has been a lot of those reports, guidance. I've seen many different things. Like I usually try to bring them here when I found them, but I found the link to that movie, but it was removed. I'm really curious about that movie. I'm not sure, Bree. I don't know. I couldn't tell you that. Now let me show you the next thing. Okay, so did I share there? Let me go see. Now, this is crazy to me. I don't understand. So we know that the 911 call was an unconscious person, right? Complaint of an unconscious person, which is on here. Listen, I'll read you the post. Whatever they have on the 911 call, but they did already notify a coroner and detectives when they sent the police and EMS. So if you look, it says the CAD notes, the CAD comments, complaint of unconscious person, officers and EMS responded, coroner and detectives notified. So I want to know, did they notify them immediately? The way that it reads, it seems like they did. If so, why would they notify a coroner over an unconscious person? I have not, Christine. Let us know if you find anything over there, if anything comes up. Hey, Tess. Hey, Without Borders. The two best friends were in separate sororities, and the other girl in the house was in one with the two best friends. Oh, that'd be really cool boating. So why? Maybe they said they thought they were dead. There has to be something like that. I think there were two different 911 calls. Did you see the video of the party? No. Who were the two girl and boy who were walking? No, I didn't, Teresa. I'll have to check that out. Hey, Delaney. If there was so much blood like they say, I know, Rob, that's the confusing part. That's from day one. I think that's always bothered people, right? It's like an unconscious person, but there's so much blood, it's coming out of the walls. There was a guy arrested yesterday, and there's no info yet, and it's sus. They haven't updated these logs since the 23rd also. I think 911 was told to say that, not as to cause panic. Guidance, it wasn't here, but I've heard that too. A rumor about, possibly the caller or someone with the caller, became unconscious, and that's what happened. And I don't know about that. I think that's just kind of a rumor. One of the two survivors fainted upon seeing the deceased roommate. The other surviving roommate notified an external friend to come over. I don't know. Like, that's a rumor going around. Hey, Callie. But honestly, I wouldn't count on it just because it's just a random rumor. I posted about a neighbor of the students who says they heard a prowler in July and thinks it was going on for a week. Oh my God. I'd probably faint for real, for real. Can you freaking imagine? I don't even know. I mean, when our dog passed away last year and I found him, that about killed me. I couldn't even feel my legs. I was like, oh my God, I can't imagine. Something like that. But for some reason, the way that it looks, because also I thought, could it be the coroner and detectives were notified after? Like, they get there, the unconscious person, officer, and EMS responds, and then coroner, and them come after, but just in the thing, it looks like it was all at once. Oh, thank you, Logan. It's the thing that dispatchers say. I asked today, it's very common. Oh. It's the thing that dispatchers say. I asked today, it's very common. My brother even said he had gunshot to heads and was unconscious. It's just a saying they use. Hey, Meg. Yes, absolutely. Yep, that's what I think, Christine. Okay, let me see, because one of the things I sent came through as like the group. Oh, Christine sent something. Let me see. I want to check what I sent. That's coming up as like. Oh, it's a conspiracy video. And then I'm just going to forward what you sent me, Christine. What is that, by the way? To my YouTube or to my Facebook that we're getting this stuff from. Parawoman Radio. And that was another rumor that someone collapsed in the road or outside. I think that was just because it was written up that there was an unconscious person on King Road and someone thought literally on, you know what I mean? So I don't know. Take them to show if you want. What is it, Perry? Let me go back to your last comment. The person said they could hear. Oh, about the okay, thank you. I may do that. I got to see how much time we've got. Let me try to get through some more stuff because I did get a lot of stuff. Oh, it is still doing. Oh my gosh, that's so annoying. I'm trying to watch like. Oh. Open in browser. Okay. Now I want to go through this one because this is really interesting about what's happened since. This is a new article from today at 2:22. So 911 calls in Idaho College. Now, we knew that they were getting a lot of 911 calls. We knew that there was, people were scared. But the reason I wanted to look at this is because it goes into detail about some of those calls, which are kind of interesting. Look at this women's sneaker for $288. That's crazy. Okay. 911 calls in Idaho College Town include reports of blood and unusual circumstances. The small town of Moscow, Idaho, received a deluge of calls last week reporting suspicious activity and requesting welfare checks after 4 students were savagely stabbed to death in a home near campus. The owner of the Sudsies laundromat dialed 911 on November 23rd to report a mark on the column inside that looks like blood. An officer responded but did not take a report. A woman called police 2 days later at 6:14 to report that someone keeps shining a light into her window and that an unknown person had repeatedly banged on her door the prior week. Police responded but did not take a report. A total of 77 calls came in from November 23rd to the 27th, offering a glimpse into a community gripped by fear since Ethan, Xana, Madison, and Kaylee were murdered November 13th after 3 a.m. on King Road. Since the quadruple homicide, the Moscow Police Department has received also 78 calls for unusual circumstances and 36 requesting welfare checks, an increase from 70 and 18 respectively for all of October, according to a press release. The latest 911 logs show how the shocking crime continues to rattle many in the town of 25,000. Can you imagine? And they're scared to death. They're calling in everything. Listen to this. On November 24th, a caller reported that a female employee at Sherry's Cafe and Pies received a menacing note on the back of a receipt. Quote, "You better watch out," unquote, the message threatened. On November 26th, a report came in that some men were acting sketchy and shadowboxing at a corner club. A woman called police on November 27th at 3:18 after she woke up and saw her front door wide open. A person complained November 23rd of a male at the dog park asking strange questions. Several people reported that various park vehicles were suspicious. On Thanksgiving, police fielded 21 calls, including 4 for a suspicious person or circumstance. A woman reported that someone rang her doorbell twice, but no one was at the door when she answered. In a response to a records request, Moscow Police Department said no 911 calls were made from the King Road residence between June 6th and November 11th, so they think this suggests that the roommates had no safety concerns. I thought that was kind of crazy. I mean, I understand that they are, gripped with fear. I cannot imagine what they're going through. But I don't know. I thought it was a little bit much, but I don't know. Let's see. I'm going to check on you guys, and then we're going to go through this. Woke up and the front door was open. Hey, Pink Dahlia. Hey, Princess Megan Elsa. Blood in the laundromat, and they didn't take a report. Yep. Rob, I'm with you. I don't think I'd want my kid to be there either. I'm not surprised either. People are terrified. Hey, Nicole. Police only respond after you are dead. NorCal Gym. 288. I know. So that's a good price for some shoes, y'all. It is a college town. Seem like pranks are going to go on. I know. That's what I was thinking when I saw, I remember doing that, knocking on doors and then jumping and hiding. So people were like, hey, who's at my house? I would do it to, my grandpa when I was a little kid. And he'd get so mad. I agree, Holly. Some sound like pranks. Some are kind of sketchy. I found it interesting that November 11th, somebody saw a man trying to get into a window. Now we have that window, the screen that's been removed, and the cinder block. But I tend to think he maybe just walked right in. I don't know. I definitely think he walked right out. Do you guys think that he walked right in the sliding glass door? Let me know if you do. I guess put a 1 in the chat or say I do. For such a small college town, they sure have a lot of police activity. I know. Oh, Christine, by the way, I have to get in touch with you because, I really want to make that series happen for a couple of reasons, and I'll tell you privately. But I just think it'd be good for me and for many other people. You know what I mean? If you still are down to do it. So you guys do. The cinder block reminds me of a scenario as a kid to sit and wait. Sliding door. Hey there. Oh, night, Leo girl, sweet dreams. I've seen some of that, Rob. I think that's just kind of speculation and rumors. Sliding door entrance from wooded area. There was a rod in the slider. It wasn't a rod. There was 2 stools, looked like stools for beside the bar, and they were turned where the legs were facing each other and put together and put in the door. Sounds like Santa is watching. Yeah, it totally does. Okay, let me get through this article. Let's see. I think he walked in with them. Wow, Kathy. Mm, okay. Police tell Idaho victim's family only one. I just hadn't seen this, and I know. Okay, so we have the coroner at the beginning, if you missed it, that says that most of them had one fatal wound. I would say that one of them had multiple wounds that could be. That is my assumption, though. But the coroner said that we know the police have said it's targeted. We've had many people saying that they believe, this person was the target, this person was the target, whatever. So I do want to go through this really quickly. The family of one of the Idaho victims. Are you freaking kidding me? I have to register. Well, hold on. I'm going to go ahead and do it so we can read it because I do want to read it. I mean, damn, I just want to read one article. You need the year I was born and everything. Fine, I guess. Okay. I do too. That is really annoying. Yeah, that's what she said, Teresa. It was from a Nancy Grace. So Nancy Grace on her Fox Nation show, she does like a podcast. It's really good. Usually she'll do like each one is on a different crime that's currently trending or in the news or whatever. And she did one on, she's probably done a few on Idaho, but she did one where she's playing clips from the coroner being on Ashley Banfield. I tried to find the coroner on Ashley's show and I couldn't find it. Damn, that's smart, Christine. So, anyways, so I can't find the full interview, but we do hear her voice, and she's being asked by Ashley. They're like, "Can you tell us, were they stabbings? Were they slashings? And she says they were stab wounds. So that makes you think, it wasn't the neck or something like that. And then she says that most of them had one fatal stab wound, but they don't finish it. So I don't know, but you'll have to go back and watch. And at the end, I can link her podcast thing. It's on, here, I'll link it right now because I still got it pulled up. It's on Dan Carson Law. I wouldn't mind to sit here with y'all and listen to the whole thing. There was just a lot of other things I wanted to look at, but pretty interesting. Hey, Johnny. Yeah, fatal wound to the upper part of the body. So there is that link. And then now that I've registered, we can read this. The family of one of the Idaho victims has claimed that law information officials, okay, have given them vague information about the case and whether it was just one student who was the target in the murders. Kaylee Gonsalves' father, Steve Gonsalves, said that he was, quote, a little in denial, unquote, about the killings and is focused on getting justice for his daughter, despite the lack of information. Authorities have remained largely silent about any breakthroughs in the tragedy in which students Ethan, Kaylee, Xana, and Madison were found dead on the 13th of November. I've been told it's one target, but then again, there's the bigness, like it's purposely big. I'm hoping, but it confuses everyone. Yeah, because nobody knows what that really means other than maybe somebody had a different kind of attack footprint. Huh? What? We all want to play a part in helping, but we can't move if we don't have any real substantial information to work from. When asked if any law enforcement officials had shared that Kaylee was targeted, her mother, Olivia, wait, I thought that was her sister's name for some reason. Maybe I'm wrong, replied, they won't confirm who that was to us. just a rumor at this point, said Mr. Gonsalves. He also said police were not sharing much information. He says, quote, they're not sharing much with me. I mean, yesterday I asked about the stalker question and they couldn't confirm anything. And then today I hear that they're reaching out to the community saying that there's a stalker involved. So I don't know what to make of that. They're just so vague with everything that they say, and then they like slowly peel it back later until you find out the real story, said Kaylee's brother. It all started with a sharp-edged weapon. What was the use in telling the community that a sharp-edged weapon was used instead of just coming out and saying it was a knife from the beginning? I don't understand the purposeness of being so vague. You're not holding the integrity of the case together by not telling anybody anything, he added. Meanwhile, questions are mounting about a potential link between the murder of the students and a 2021 stabbing in Oregon, which remains unsolved. And we talked about that case, which was a couple sleeping in bed. He unfortunately did not make it. She did. She was stabbed like 18 or 19 times. He said there is stuff they're going to follow up on in reference to that case. I wish they just had the interview. I haven't seen it yet. I know that some people were playing it with Kaylee's dad. Wait, they call her. Look here. They say her father is Steve here, but then later they say from Kaylee's brother is his name. I guess his name could be Steve too. I don't know. I feel like that article to register to have to read it. It was written pretty terribly. I got to be honest. I do have. Let me see. His article here though, or his interview, so we could watch it. I'm gonna stay till 6:30, so I think we'll watch it. Hey, F-Bomb Mom, good to see you. All right. Let me go through the chat for just a second, and then here's a question. Why would Kaylee's sister put the info about the last phone calls out only to simultaneously dismiss the recipient entirely? Doesn't sound like authorities would have shared it. That's a good question, Cooper. And they definitely did do that, right? I don't know. The family seems like they really like Jack. Most articles are written poorly in the last few years. The saddest thing for me with that other case is that they were leaving on vacation to Hawaii the next day. That just sucks. I know. Oh, you did? Guidance? Do I have the right thing right here? If I were in a scary movie, I would not be the one running up the stairs. I'd either freeze or be out. Yeah, me neither. I'm guessing that was because of Jack. I like her name too. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. Hey, Michaela, nice to meet you, girl. I guess I'll just play it. So I'm going to mute and we're going to watch some of this. I'll be right back.
Of cross country on location in Moscow, Idaho. Tonight we remember Ethan, Zaina, Kaylee, and Maddie. Life just getting started, cut short by a still unnamed criminal. It's been about 2 weeks since the University of Idaho students were stabbed.
Since I have to pause for fair use, let me just say, one, he said it right, Moscow, Idaho. Two, the music, like the suspenseful music in the background, it just feels like, I don't like that. I don't like when people like, I don't know. It just feels like somebody who's like trying to make it like more. It's horrific enough. I don't know. Hey Michelle, good to see you. I don't know, C-Wise. I think as far as I know, that's just a rumor.
To death in their beds while they slept in that home right behind me. This gruesome attack has shattered peace of mind here in Moscow. In a town that never used to lock their doors, locksmiths are now being flooded with calls. College students are now considering online classes. And while rumors are swirling here, everyone is in agreement on one thing. Justice must be served. Many unanswered questions about this brutal crime. You'll hear from those experts later this hour. But to begin, joining me again tonight, Steve Gonzalez, father of Kaylee.
He says again tonight. So did he do it more than once? Yes, Christine, I saw that too. I also heard a reporter pronounce Santa like Shauna, and I don't know what I will do about that. Well, I heard that too, and I thought that's really pretty, pretty way to spell it if that's the case. But Occam's razor, based on what little is known, points in that direction. Didn't see it. I just don't think Jack had anything to do with it, in my opinion. Well, I am also very curious about that neighbor. I wouldn't be surprised. I think people, it's since the beginning of time, we've known that people will commit these crimes and then they will hang out to watch and see what the police know, what people know, like what's happening. You know what I mean? My friend is pronounced that way. Oh, how cool, Alpha. That's awesome. I love that. Wait, what the heck is that? What happened? Okay. Sorry. Let's just get back to this. I'm messing it all up, apparently.
Life's just getting started again tonight. Steve Gonzalez continue to grieve with you and your family, and we're hoping to get answers for you. Sir, when was the last time you talked with law enforcement about the case?
Well, we just had a vacation. Law enforcement told me that they were going to drop off a little bit and not to expect the same type of communication that I had gotten before. They passed it on to another person. So basically, long story short, it was Wednesday, 5 p.m. was the last time that they reached out to me.
Law enforcement told the father of one of the victims, don't expect communication like you got before. Excuse me? How rude. The night before. Okay. Thank you. Hey, LFT.
So, yeah, that's
Sir, what are they telling you?
they're kind of just telling me that they can't tell me much, which is frustrating to me because I've been very trustworthy. I do know things. I haven't shared things. We're the same family that found the original timeline. We're the same family that broke into the phones. We tried everything in our ability to try to get into this system because
He said he does know some things. That makes me wonder what there's things that obviously he knows that we don't know, that law enforcement knows that we don't know, which obviously. But hey, Muffin Top, maybe meaning he wouldn't have new info daily, possibly be. And I think it's not a far stretch to say, you know, then the family or the coroners or different people are releasing information that law enforcement may not want out there, I wouldn't be surprised, but agree, Lynn. Definitely not going to get him to talk to him more. Robin, that was what I was looking at a retired FBI agent earlier. There are many that have spoken out and done interviews and different things about the case, but there's one that says they think it's the woman, but the one that I saw earlier, oh my God, said that they believe that it was someone who was watching them very closely and was lying in wait basically. So I don't know. Okay, let me get back to the daggone thing. It keeps trying to make us watch about the White House.
And we're hoping to get answers for you. Sir, when was the last time you talked with law enforcement about the case?
Well, we just had a vacation. Law enforcement told me that they were going to drop off a little bit and not to expect the same type of communication that I had gotten before. They passed it on to another person. So basically, long story short, it was Wednesday, 5 p.m. was the last time that they reached out to me. So, yeah, that's rough.
Sir, what are they telling you?
They're kind of just telling me that they can't tell me much, which is frustrating to me because I've been very trustworthy. I do know things. I haven't shared things. We tried everything in our ability to try to get into this system because a court order is not the fastest thing. So we broke in and we did what we did. We know that we have some family passwords that we all share. So we broke in and we helped them. So it's hard for me to give up as a father my protective ability to other men.
That is so freaking sad. And yes, I actually wanted to look at a picture of those apartments across the street. And I have one more video I hope we have time for, so I'm going to get through this.
Sir, they have shared with us that it was a targeted attack. Can you give us any information about that? Have they told you who the target was or given you more insight than they have the public?
I don't want to talk bad about them because these are some hardworking individuals, and I'm doomed without them. We're all doomed without them. This defund police is just a terrible idea. The fact that we're finding out that there's more than just my daughter and these children that have suffered, it's terrible to think that we can defund these guys. It's an absolute atrocity. That's not something that is political. It's not political. This is just facts, guys. We can't allow these people to just run free. So beyond that, they haven't shared a lot. We have some private detectives that have reached out to us and given us information. We take that with a grain of salt and we try to be careful. Just today, I reached out to the officers and said, hey, this guy's treated me with respect on the show. I'd like to share some things with him that I found out on my own, and they asked me to not do that. So,
Wow, that is super interesting. See, they don't want them sharing anything. He was going to share some things he found out on his own, and they asked him not to. But in order to protect the investigation, which I know it's hard, but really, we don't need to know. I know we want to. I want to know, but we are not owed. We are not owed any of this. If it takes us not knowing, this is my thing with cases. I have an internal struggle about even the coverage of these cases as they're unfolding because I never want to be part of the reason why. Like sometimes I just think if you have to wait and let police do their job, we shouldn't be like digging in, you know what I mean? Digging too close and all that kind of thing. Sorry, you guys.
We're waiting patiently, but we're definitely concerned. We're definitely concerned.
Because I know it's going to echo.
Yeah. So, sir, I had the opportunity to speak with those same law enforcement officials today and was able to get some information out from them as well. We want to do everything that we can do to get you answers and to solicit more information for the timeline. But there's gaps in that timeline. Is there anything that you can share with us that may put people in that direction where they would feel willing to share about that timeline?
I've heard a little bit of feedback on this that people are nervous about the timeline. I'm going to tell you guys that
It's not even correct what was on the screen.
there's so much attention on this. If you can share your information, if you can post it, I mean, it's the internet. You can do these things anonymously. Don't go forward. You don't have. And for those people who are afraid, like maybe I was intoxicated or underage, that's not what they care.
All right, I'm gonna pull up the next thing I want to show you guys. I don't think that we're getting really anywhere there, and we don't have that much time left. So, but I will say the timeline that was on the screen was not correct. We know that they were still at the food truck at 1:45. You know, so I don't know. I just I've heard of I've heard of that happening in other cases, because like places like that have DNA, a database that is not what the police have. They have people who have never been arrested, and the police only have one. Hey, Allie, only dig if you want to find dirt. They seem to be a take on. Oh, I have a question. How long was it between the call to the friends and the call to police? Like, was the friend also a neighbor, or did they come from way across town? Okay. So I'm gonna say, so you said roommate called friends over before they called 911, or at the very wait, around the same time they called 911. They called friends over around the same time they called 911. How long was the call between two friends? I don't know how to write that. How long was the call? Oh, made before the 911 call, or I swear, I think they might answer us. I'm not joking. I've gotten responses from other police departments. I've gotten also no responses. But the way that they've been answering so much already, I really think they're trying to keep the misinformation at a minimum. So I sound funny. I don't know. What do I sound like? Okay. So this I wanted to show because it does show investigators like on looking for stuff around the house in ways that we hadn't seen it. It's actually from the channel Conspiracy. Some say I sound like a robot. Some say I sound fine. Well, okay. My whole thing was reaching out to police, and I've told myself this from the beginning. I'm talking about when I was just doing TikTok and I had like nobody watching me. I still was reaching out to police, and I was like, make it pretend, like telling myself this, like just ask with confidence, like you know what you're doing. Hey, I run this channel, I do this, and I'm covering this case and whatever, and that's what I mean. Hey, that's all I know to do. Fake it till you make it with stuff like that, with jobs and stuff like that. If you are not confident, you pretend like you are and try. You know what I mean? Just You have to have probable cause for it. It can only happen to them. I don't know if that was hmm, I sound like T-Pain. Your sound is different, but can hear fine. Oh my God, I gotta go hear it. But we're gonna listen to this anyway for a minute.
So we're starting to see investigators focus on the backyard, the back patio. There's a door right here at the back side of the house. It's on the second story, and investigators are putting down evidence markers.
Okay, so I had never seen, even when I watched this earlier, I didn't look at, I was rushing through. They did obviously find something right there. Thank you, NorCal Jim. What in the hell? I don't know why it sounds like that, you guys. I'm sorry.
So we're starting to see investigators focus on the backyard, the back patio. There's a door right here at the back side of the house. It's on the second story, and investigators are putting down evidence markers.
Oh, thank you, Riddler. Thank you so much. Yeah, it is a couch. Um, I thought I had saved the photos of them. So there's an apartment across the way, and it looks like that may be where that last photo of them was taken. Oh, I did save it. Here, let me look and show you guys. Okay, so this is that photo that is basically been seen everywhere. Um, and these are the apartments across the way. And people believe that that's possibly where it was taken. Um, I don't know though. What do you guys think? Like, I'm not sure that it looks like the same. Well, maybe because it's very thin in between there. Maybe it is. But anyways, you know, here's their house. Okay. Here's the apartments. And then there's also like a fraternity on the other, like you can see straight from there. There's many places right around where somebody could have been staying, like, where the killer could have been staying. The only thing is, how do you get across the road and into your place without, like, the brownies do look good, Corey. I thought the same thing. Aw, thank you, Sandy Beach. I love you and appreciate you, and that's really sweet. I don't know what the hell is up with my sound. Ooh, okay. Let me go get it, Tammy, while we're sitting here looking. What do you guys think? And see, I just think if he came through the back, I don't know that he, like, I don't know. News Nation, very interesting. He'll send that here because I have to go in about 20 minutes to that appointment, but I thought I would hang out with you guys until then. Um, ooh, I found this pic that is definitely the location of the roommate's last photo during the day. Notice the ceiling. This is a friend of Xana's, I believe, named Emily. She's probably the one who took the pictures. Oh my god! Wow. Okay. I wondered, a lot of people I've seen wondering about where the pictures were taken, or not where they were taken, who took them, or, there was a couple outside. There were several from that day. Okay, hold on. I'm going to leave and come right back in. Hello. Can y'all hear me better now? Emily definitely lives there. Oh, thank you, Liza. Wait till y'all see these pictures, though. They are, wow. You can definitely tell that's the place because I really couldn't tell. But these, you can tell after seeing the ceiling in this other one. So remember, these are the first ones that we showed, and the outside of the building there now. This is where her friend Emily lives. See the ceilings? And in the background, and then the ceilings. Oh my God, look at my face right here in the corner. What a beautiful face I'm making to have in the screenshot. There's Xana and Maddie. Is that Xana, the third one? It's kind of hard to tell. I know that's definitely Maddie. It looks like Xana. And look, Xana commented here, great content. Oh, how sad. Like just seeing these people, like, their lives, their comments, things like that, like, I don't know, it's just really sad. Nadie. Hey, Rena. They are freaking gorgeous girls. Oh, thank you, Liza. I'm back from Robotoville. Hey, Melissa. I saw that you had a live this evening at like 7. Ow. No, it is not cold here, Christine. It was 70 today, but right now it's like 60. Let me see. 59. So not too cold. But tomorrow it's going to be only 62, but the next day it'll be 70 again. I'll tell you, I'm not used to it. And I'm from West Virginia, where we're living now, in North Carolina. It's, you did awesome, Tammy. It's a lot warmer, a lot warmer. You did super awesome. And by the way, Tammy has a channel named just what you see there. We have Melissa Jade's channel I just mentioned. Rena has a channel about grief and things like that, which I would love for you guys to go support all of these channels. Actually, Decipher Podcast, I saw Punksy was in here. Of course, Criminality with Christine, Teresa, and Michelle. I'm seeing if there's any other ones in here. If they come in, I'll let you guys know. Pretty message, Sheila. They're cute kids. Oh, you're in North Carolina too, Corey. I'm in the Outer Banks, which, don't get me wrong, it is cold some days. It's just today, or like this last week, like a week or two ago, it was getting down to freezing at nighttime. But in West Virginia, it was literally below freezing every night, below 0 sometimes. Okay, what was the other thing I was going to? Oh, yeah, this. Is this it? From News Nation?
You're the guy with the gun.
Yes. Okay. This is from 22 hours ago. I think
A person could do anything to protect the ones you love. But did you know you could go?
But first, the looming question surrounding.
Okay. 4 months of premium on us. I should do it because I'm not paying for premium anymore. I quit paying for it and I quit like a few memberships for this month. Honestly, Christmas always kills me. My son has a birthday 3 days after, and now I've wrecked my car, you guys. I can't believe it. If y'all seen what I hit, you would just, I hit a concrete pole that doesn't move. It didn't just go show up there. It's always been there. I cannot get over it. I'm like, you're just so dumb. 36. Holy cow. Sandy Beach. Thank you, Nadie. Ooh, Teresa, stay safe. It is beautiful here. That's one thing. It's a place to heal the soul or whatever. The killer wanted notoriety. That's the only way I can explain this tragedy. Oh, thank you, Punksy. No, I didn't. I'll go check it out. I really can't, Melissa. I do want to mention you all. Well, I love you guys, and I think you have great channels. And yeah, and I think that your live coming up, something I want to mention, things like that. I don't know. I just want to be supportive of other people and that kind of thing. Thank you, Amber. Me too. Oh, I hit it hard. I busted my radiator and I thought that was it. And then I found out today that it's the radiator and something that works the air conditioning. But Johnny, I wasn't going fast. I was like parking speed. Like I was a nervous wreck and I was like getting ready to pull out and the lady was like doing buggies right by me. So I was already like on edge. And then, oh, that's awesome, Lady Butterfly. Thank you. And then 2 little kids run in behind my car, like as I'm backing out, which has me even more on edge. And then it's like, I just turn around and put it straight in drive and just drive right into it. Not on my phone, nothing. And I don't know. Like I said, it can be like, I will tell you, I guess I had the idea of like me being in recovery for so long and actually really trying to like do the right thing, be a good person, like try my best at everything I do, like just all that stuff. You think that you're not going to mess up anymore, right? Or you're like, and then it just doesn't, like, it can be like super disappointing. Okay, let's watch this video.
The grisly stabbing deaths of 4 Idaho college students. 2 weeks have now passed since police began investigating the case, still without a suspect, and police have spent days tracking down potential witnesses who scattered home for Thanksgiving break. Why the police are now keeping key details about the case from the public. An Idaho state policeman saying, quote, it will potentially put more fear, more suspicion on a wide variety of people versus if we use that to really refine where we're at in our investigation. Adding, if we just provide information to the public, I just don't think that that's going to be a wise choice. Let's bring in former FBI agent Jennifer Coffendorfer. Jennifer, thank you so much for being here.
Yes, it's good to be here.
Thank you. It's not just the public asking investigators for information. We also know the father of one of the victims, 20-year-old Kaylee Gonsalves, speaking out. He says he has not gotten an update either since before Thanksgiving.
Also, Amber's channel is an amazing channel, which I'm sure most of you guys know. In recovery from what I'm over 6 years in. I'm not just fresh in recovery, but I'm still a hot mess. And from benzos and opiates and just like everything, but mainly that. Which ones, Tess? Yeah, and CDT, another awesome channel. I love Amber and CDT, both of their channels. I know they work hard. Amber is like really good at her documentaries. I don't know how, well, I know they do awesome, but I don't know how she hasn't blown up even more because of it.
And when it comes to the stop of flow of information, Idaho police saying that it will potentially put more fear, more suspicion on that wide variety of people. What do you make of that? Where are they in their investigation now?
Well, I think that they really haven't made much progress in terms of narrowing down who did this atrocious crime. Sadly, it's just going to be difficult because of the amount of information they're working with. It's just going to take time for them to narrow down all that information, particularly from the cell phones, from the cameras, any geofencing they've done. All of that takes time to return that information so they can work with it.
And I want to pause to hear what Idaho Police Communications Director Aaron Snell said today. Let's take a listen to that.
We do not have a suspect and we do not have a person of interest at this time. We are building, again, as you mentioned before, we're building a profile, we're building a picture. We're trying to put all the pieces together. And when the time comes, we will most definitely put that information out as quickly as we can.
Now, in what ways can an investigation like this be compromised, releasing information to the public or to victims' families?
Well, it can be compromised very seriously.
By the way, Tammy, I did catch that and I caught it in an article earlier that, yeah, they're scared to give out information because they don't want to raise suspicion upon like a certain group of people, like say young men that look like this or whatever, you know what I mean? And they're afraid that people are going to go crazy. Lady Butterfly, you can email me anytime. Anytime. Oh, thank you, Chemistry Queen. Love you. And I'm so happy that they're doing better. And thank you. Thank you, Juror. Thank all of you guys. I really do appreciate it. It's very sweet. And yeah, I think we all know that the investigation can be, this is the thing with, like I said, all these cases that are, you know, really popular as before anyone's even charged. People want to know more. People are digging, and there's nothing you can do to keep people from looking for more information. Eventually, information will get out there, and you can find, if you look, you can find it, right? And so I don't know. I start to feel bad, like I have an internal struggle. How do I cover this responsibly? Like, I don't want to be the reason that these people don't get justice for their kids. Not that my little channel ever would, but you never know. And you always have to keep that in mind. Hey, Wolfie. I also think they're trying to make someone think they're in the clear. In a press conference, he started to say, we don't want to tip anyone off, but caught himself at the start of T. Okay, so I had actually a retired law enforcement in the chat. His brother went missing a long time ago, and he was just in here in the chat, like talking about another case. And so in this other case, it was actually Quentin. We were talking about why was Leilani named the prime suspect, and they've said that Danny was not a suspect, basically. He said that, or they said that she was the prime and only suspect. So then that just meant that basically Danny wasn't one. He said that's totally normal. They will lie. They will do things like that. They are very careful with their words because they want someone to feel comfortable, or they maybe want they want someone to slip up. So who has 35 years? Wait a minute. Oh my gosh, Jesus loves me. That's awesome. That is really, really awesome. Okay, so I'm going to play this because I have to go in a second for my appointment, and I want us to hear the rest. But I also don't want to get a copyright, so I'm trying to be careful.
Terms of prosecution, and this is why. Imagine if all these details came out and now you're interviewing witnesses and you don't know whether the information they're telling you is coming from what they heard in a public forum or venue or what they personally saw. So it's important to keep the integrity.
I have an idea how I want to do this so that I can, I'm going to look at the transcript. I love to do that, because you can pretty much find out your information without watching the video if you want to go over something in a video but don't want to play it or whatever. It's important to keep the integrity of the information in terms of interviewing people. So they're talking about, he says, you said it's so important, the importance of geofencing in this investigation. And Jennifer says it's so important at such a critical thing that they can do in a situation like this, where they don't have a subject, because what they're going to do is basically set up a perimeter, and they're going to be able to call all cellular information, Google information. It's a wide net of subpoena authority that will enable them to obtain anybody and everybody using a device in that area during that particular time frame. What? That's crazy. Oh, Jennifer, you're looking at one of the victim's moms being arrested days after the killing. Can you talk about what you're tracking there? Let's hear what she says.
Look at every sort of avenue that might intersect or interplay with this atrocious crime. Law enforcement has to look at all these avenues. They have to check them off one by one, no matter how remote that possibility might be, that this could be related to those arrests of that individual, the mother of Xana. So they're going to be looking at all of that, and as well they should. Every avenue has to be followed.
And police have so far ruled out that the murders are not related to the 1999 double stabbing in Pullman, Washington, the 2021 double stabbing in Salem, Oregon. Is there anything in particular that stands out to you?
I didn't know they ruled out that double stabbing. I did not know that at all. Wow. Okay.
To you with your background in this moment that you think warrants further investigation?
No, I have to say no. I've looked at both of those cases they're referring to, and there's just not enough markers that really show the same type of situation. For instance, one, it was a burglar. Steadfast in this is targeted. So they're not looking for markers of a serial killer to link to other crimes. They are looking at this targeted situation.
Jennifer, it's always good speaking with you. Jennifer Coffin.
That is so interesting. You know what? She kind of looks like Broken Justice. Oh, Jesus loves me. Well, welcome, and I'm glad that you're here. I have an upcoming series on recovery. It's going to be really emotional. I want to get to it as quick as I can. But we're going to go and talk to some friends of mine, one whose mother passed away of addiction, one whose husband passed away from addiction or overdose, one whose child passed away, and they did have addiction issues, but that's not what happened. But still talking about their experience with it. And their child was in recovery when they passed, thankfully. But and we're going to talk about all that stuff. So definitely stick around for that. It's going to be emotional, but I think it's important. And I'm going to start with Brittany. Allegedly with Brittany, she has a story to tell, and I want to have Christine on. I have many people I want to have on for that, and I just cannot wait. So just stay tuned for that. Okay, I'm going to let you guys go because I have my appointment. I love you all, and thank you for being here. I really do appreciate it. It was fun today going through all of this stuff. I do have a Summer Wells video I want to do. It's nothing huge, but I will say it's probably the biggest amount of information we've ever gotten, like in an official capacity, from somebody who's working on the case. So I still want to go over it and just kind of use that to keep Summer's name, in our mouths and in our minds and all that stuff. I am Melissa. That's who I was talking about. Well, she said a long time ago she was. That's one of the people I was talking about. I hope that she still will. I'm looking forward to it. Melissa has a live at 7 on this case. You guys go check it out. And I'm going to go do my doctor's appointment. I love you guys. Thank you for hanging out with me. I'll definitely see you tomorrow. So have a great night, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye. I love you guys, Chemistry Queen, and everybody else too. Bye.